So welcome to our mini class today. It would be helpful if you have a chair that you can use for the practice, and it should be ideally a chair that doesn't roll away from you when you put some pressure on it, so like a kitchen chair or something like that. So if you need to pause the recording and go and get what you need, feel free to do that, and then we'll get started sitting on the chair when you get back. So I'll see you there. So coming to a comfortable seated position, and ideally you want to be away from the back of your chair so you're not kind of slumped and sitting on your chair. So your sit bones are grounded onto the chair, those two bones at the bottom of your pelvis, if you can feel them, they're not always so obvious. And the spine is in its natural shape, so it's not rounded and slumped, but upright and relaxed. So we'll start with a little bit of a check-in today. So if you like, you can close your eyes. And I invite you to tune into what you sense and feel in your body, even if it's really subtle. And starting with what's obvious, so maybe feeling your feet on the ground, feeling your hands where they rest on your legs. Maybe feeling the pressure of your sit bones on your chair, the back of the thighs on your chair, and then any other sensations that are present for you. And then start to tune into the energy of your breath. So the energy of expansion as you inhale, and the energy of drawing in towards your center, contracting. You don't have to contract anything deliberately, but coming into that feeling of drawing in as you exhale and expanding out as you inhale. And we'll be working with this theme today of finding the opposites in order to find the center. So when we allow the expansion and the contraction of the breath, we find our way to this ideally easeful place of breathing. We're not forcing the breath in any way. We're not trying to control it in any way. Just noticing how our body moves. And then let's tune in momentarily to the mind. Notice, is your mind busy and full? Is it dull and quiet? Is it focused? So there's no need to judge what you discover. Just bringing some awareness to what's present for you right now. Maybe you're just coming from work and your head is full of a jumble. Notice that as sort of contracted space. And when your mind is more expanded, the space between your thoughts feels a little bit bigger. And we're always moving between those two states. So it's not like one is right and the other is wrong. Sometimes we need to really put our heads down and get stuff done. And that full mind is helpful to us. And other times we're maybe trying to sleep. Our mind is too full. We want more expansion and space. So today is really about discovering those opposites, embracing all that is, and finding our way to balance through that embracing of all that is. So finally, I invite you to tune into any emotions that may be present today, whether they're difficult, hard, heavy emotions, or feeling softer, lighter, more expanded. Again, no judgment. Our emotions have this wave of contraction and expansion, just like everything else. And when we allow ourselves to move through whatever is present, we find our way much more quickly back to balance than when we try to deny or push away our feelings. So just take a moment and notice what is present for you emotionally right now. And maybe there's not much. Maybe you feel kind of numb. Notice that. So now we'll move into a little more exaggeration of the expansion and contraction with some movement of the spine. So as we inhale, letting the heart lift and the back bend into extension, and then exhale, round the back. The belly will naturally drop in as you exhale, and then inhale, lifting the heart. Exhale, rounding. So moving between those extremes of full inhale and complete exhale, never forcing or straining the breath, of course. Feeling the fullness, feeling the emptiness, and knowing that when we embrace all of who we are, the extremes of who we are, we find our way much more quickly to our center than if we try to only stay happy or only stay expanded or only stay in summer. Right? All of the seasons have beauty and balance. Great, and then let's gradually find our way back to a neutral spine. And here, let's widen the feet a little bit and make sure your seat is really on the chair. So as we tilt the weight to one side and the other, you're not throwing yourself off balance. So we want to stay within those extremes. So one hand to the seat of your chair, just behind your own seat, lifting the other arm. Take a breath in and reach up. And then as you exhale, supporting yourself as you move to the side, come up, release that arm down. So we'll come up with a breath in, reach over as you exhale, reach up as you inhale, and down as you exhale. Again, inhale, exhale. Follow your own breath rhythm. If it's different from mine, just go ahead and go at the pace that's right for you. This time, if you like, you can stay for a few breaths. Press down into both sit bones so you're not lifting one cheek. Breathe into that side that feels expanded as you inhale. And be aware of the contraction on the other side without collapsing into it. And then coming up, we'll release that arm down and then bring your hands back onto your thighs. You can close your eyes if you like and tune into what you feel from one side of the body to the other side. So do you feel a difference? And if the answer is no, that's fine. And if you do feel a difference, what is different? What do you notice? So let's try the other side. So you can bring the hand to the chair, lift that arm, breathing in, exhale, reach up and over, inhale, center, exhale, down. So inhale up, exhale over, inhale up, exhale down. If you find it confusing to follow your breath with the movement, then just do the movement, and as long as you're breathing, it's all good. And next time you're coming over to the side again, you can stay for a couple of breaths. Again, feel that expansion on the long side as you breathe in, and be aware of that gentle contraction on the other side without collapsing into it. And then we'll come up to the center and release that arm down. Let's bring the hands back onto the thighs or the knees. And we'll come back to that forward and back movement. Inhale, chest forward. The pelvis kind of tilts forward here. And then the pelvis tilts back as you round and exhale. So a few more like that. Now we're looking to bring some equilibrium, some balance back to the spine after the side bends. Great. And then let's come back to a neutral spine. You can keep the feet a little bit wider as they were, hands on the knees, and let's do a few circles for the torso now. For For me, there's a lot of sensation in the sides of my waist and lower back as I do this. It feels like a nice stretch. So notice for you what you feel. It may be similar to what I feel. It may be quite different. I feel more sensation and stretch on one side than the other. Try going the other way and see what you notice there. Does anything change? Of course, if it's ever uncomfortable, you'll modify the movement to suit what feels best for you. And when we really tune in and notice how we're feeling as we do each movement, it gives us so much opportunity to back off if we need to, or go further if that feels right for us. Well, let's come back to the center now. We're going to come to stand. And here you can, if you've got a mat and you're using a mat, you can bring your chair to one end of your mat. And if not, just make sure you've got some space behind wherever you put yourself in your chair. So now you have a choice. You can either use the chair or you can just come into a forward bend, reaching towards the floor. So lifting your arms up as you breathe in, find that little bit of extension and expansion, and then exhale either hands to your chair or reaching down toward the ground. So inhale, lifting. Even if you're not using the chair now, we'll come back to it later, so you can just step back and give yourself space if you don't want to use it for now. So you're inhaling and exhaling. If you're coordinating the breath, inhale up. Find that little expansion, exhale forward. All right, so this time I invite you to be about a foot or so away from your chair and bring your hands just to the edge of your chair, flat, or you can grip the sides of your chair if that's more comfortable for your wrists. And then we're going to walk the feet back, bend the knees a little bit, and try to imagine a straight line from the sit bones or the back of your hips right out to your hands. Head coming down into that line. If you're a little up in the back, that's okay. We're looking for a relatively straight line. Bend your knees as much as you need to as we warm up here. And then you can raise up and walk back towards your chair. Bend your knees a little more. Inhale and lift up. And exhale and release. Wonderful. So we'll move on to our next pose. Again, we'll use the chair this time. So reaching up, you're about a foot away from your chair. Exhale, bring your hands down. Again, it could be flat or holding the sides of the chair. And this time we're going to take the right foot, step it back a foot or two, maybe 3 feet. It's whatever's comfortable for you. And take that back foot, turn it out to the side so that your whole foot is planted on the ground. And then we'll inhale, expand, lift. So the front knee is bent as you lift. As we come forward, you're going to move that front leg a little straighter, hands to the chair, or here you could bring them down to the ground if that's available to you. And again, lifting, bending the front knee, pressing into the back leg, moving the front leg straighter, bringing the hands and head down. So how much you straighten your front leg is going to be very dependent on how tight your hamstrings feel. So keep a little bend if you need to be comfortable. You can move it fully straight if you like, and that feels good for you. Great. So this time as the hands come to the chair, you can leave them there. Bend and straighten your front knee a few times. So moving out of that hamstring stretch and then straightening to move into the hamstring stretch. It's just a little rocking movement, inviting some space in the back of your thigh. And then with a little bit of bend in your front leg, you're going to lift the back leg up and bring it forward. Bend both knees, lift up with a breath in, a little expansion, and exhale to release down. Pause here for a moment. And again, notice, how does one side of my body feel compared with the other side? Do I notice a difference? And again, no is a completely legitimate answer. And if you do notice a difference, what's different one side to the other? So then when you're ready, facing your chair again, you're just a little bit away up to a foot, it may be even closer for you. We'll lift up with the breath in. Soft knees, bending forward, hands to your chair. We'll step back with the left foot now, turning that foot out a little ways to the side so that your whole foot is planted on the ground. And then you'll inhale and lift. Reaching the arms up overhead, chest expanding. Exhale, come forward. If you want a bit more stretch, that front leg moves a bit straighter as you come forward. And then lifting up. And again, coming forward. Couple more at your own pace. And then you can stay. So holding the chair, I find it's more comfortable to hold the edges of the chair than to be flat on my wrists. So you can experiment, see what feels best for you. And then bend and move straighter that front leg. So really just easing in and out of that stretch. Hamstrings for many people are very tight, the back of the thigh. And if you are someone who spends a lot of time sitting, that's going to exacerbate those tight hamstrings. So we really want to ease into it. If it feels good, you can leave that leg straighter and enjoy the stretch for a moment or two. And then a little bend in your knee. And then we'll step forward. What did we do next? Bend the knees a little, come all the way up. And exhale to release. So again, pause for a moment, tune in, notice how your body feels. Notice what sensations are present for you after doing both sides of warrior pose. And then again, we'll lift both arms, finding a little bit of a back bend. Exhale, soft knees, come forward. And you can either hold with your hands or bring your elbows to your chair, let your head come down, soft knees, couple of breaths here. And then come right back up to straight arms. And this one, you're only going to do it if you feel really secure that your chair is not going to move away from you. You'll step back with one foot, coming onto your toes. You want to make sure that your wrists can support you. Step back with the other foot, and then see if you can bring your hips down so your body is in a line, straight line from your shoulders to your heels. So this is a little more challenging. If it's too much for you, bring your feet a little closer, lift your bum a little bit, and put less weight on your hands, okay? And then from here, you can lift the hips, walk the feet in a little bit so they're underneath your hips. Bend your knees, bring your head down, and come back to that lengthened forward bend, stretching the arms overhead. If it's uncomfortable for your shoulders, bend the arms a little bit. Whatever works. And then we'll walk toward the chair. Soften your knees. Inhale and lift all the way up. Exhale and release your arms down to your sides. So we can move the chair out of the way now. And we'll make our way right down onto our backs on the mat. So start with your knees bent, knees pointing at the ceiling, hands at your sides. We'll keep working with this idea of moving from expansion to contraction and using the breath and movement to help bring a lot of focus there. So if you take your arms up overhead, Breathing in, notice how your body expands in this position, and then as you bring the arms down, feel your lower back settle toward the ground and that sense of grounding and drawing in. So inhale, reaching up, feeling the movement of your spine. Exhale, softening back down. Once more. This time as you bring your arms down, take your right knee and bring it in toward your body. Stay there for a few breaths, so we're a little more contracted now. Okay, and then let's expand. Take that leg straight out on the ground, take the arms up, and feel this even greater expansion. And then contraction back into the center. Squeeze in. Expand and reach out. Contract and draw in. And then stay there. You can either take the arms to the ground or you can hold behind your leg. We'll move the leg straighter toward the ceiling just until you feel that nice stretch in the hamstrings. You don't want to go too much, right? If we do too much stretching is expansion. If we do too much expansion, the body is going to say at some point, enough, and it's going to contract and it's going to be counterproductive. So we want to go slowly and find that sweet spot of stretch and hold it there. You don't need to hold the leg if that feels uncomfortable, but you can if that helps. Circle your ankle around. Circle the other way. And then if you're holding the leg, let go, relax your ankle and give it a little shake. And then bring that foot down. We'll extend the other leg and take the arms overhead, breathing in. And then exhale, knee to chest. Again, expanding, reaching out. Exhaling, drawing in. This time when the knee comes in, stay there, hugging that knee in. And then again, moving the leg straight, or you can hold on or not. Finding just that lovely sweet spot of stretch where if you were to draw the leg closer to you, you'd feel like you'd start to tense up, but if you moved it further away, it wouldn't feel like much at all. So find that perfect spot and then circle your ankle. One way and then the other. Let go with your hands, relax your ankle, give the leg a gentle shake. And then let's take that foot down. And we're going to stretch both legs out, as long as that's comfortable for you. If not, you're welcome to keep them bent. Pause here for a moment. Notice any sensations that are present. And then we're going to contract and release the muscles of the body. When we contract, we bring awareness to that clenching and allows us to release more fully with more awareness when we release. So we'll start with the hands and the arms. So squeezing the hands and arms, you can bring your shoulders up toward your ears if you like. Try to keep the rest of your body for now relaxed, squeezing the hands and arms. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, release. And then we're going to squeeze the face. You can squeeze the muscles of your face, clench your jaw, your neck gets involved. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Take a breath in. And relax as you exhale. We're going to squeeze around the belly and the rest of the torso. So squeeze your belly, chest, a breath in. Exhale and relax. And then put your toes at the ceiling, flex your feet, squeeze up through your legs all the way up to your buttocks. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Take a breath in. And exhale, release. And then we'll do the whole body. So starting with the hands, the arms, the shoulders, the face, the torso, the legs. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. You can breathe as you squeeze for a couple of breaths. And then a big breath in. And exhale. Release. And then let's take a moment, maybe a minute or two, to simply let the body relax here. Let your breath be natural, normal. Your jaw relax, your face relax, shoulders and arms, torso and belly, buttocks, hips, thighs, calves, ankles, feet. As you exhale, let your body drop into the earth. Feel the support of the earth beneath you and allow yourself to surrender to that support. Feel the gentle expansion and contraction with your breath. Feeling how natural it is that we expand and contract. We do this with our breath, with our bodies, with our minds, with our emotions, with our relationships, the weather. Everything is moving between expansion and contraction, and this is absolutely normal and natural. When we resist, we create more tension, and that tension throws us off our natural balance. Take a few more easy breaths here. And then when you're ready with an inhale, you can extend the arms overhead. Reach the feet away from the fingertips. Grow your body long. Maybe stretch one side a little more. Stretch the other arm and leg a little more. Stretch both. Couple breaths, really feeling this big expansion. And then slowly releasing the arms down, bend the knees. If this feels good to you, you can bring both knees into the chest, either together or knees apart if that's more comfortable. Maybe rock a little side to side. You can do this also with your feet on the ground, just rocking a little side to side. Giving your lower back a little massage. And then when you're ready, with feet on the floor, knees bent, rolling over onto your side, you can use your opposite hand against the earth to help support you coming back upright. And you can sit with your legs stretched out or crossed. We're just coming back upright to close the class, bringing the hands together. And I really encourage you to work towards balance by allowing yourself to feel the feels on either extreme. Feel the happy, feel the sad, the angry, the joyful, all of that. Feel your breath, feel the challenges, feel the ease in life. And through allowing all of that, we come back to our center much more quickly and easily. Namaste.